Farmed fish, or aquaculture, as it's known, is one of the priority commodities being promoted under the agro-industrialization program. The goal is to see production of 1 million metric tons per annum in order to meet the national demand and for export. Currently, most fish in Uganda come from water bodies with a capacity of 700,000 metric tons per year. In order to address the demand for fish, government has ramped up promotion of fish farming, focusing on Nile tilapia, catfish, and mirror carp. Fish farming is picking up in Uganda, with 12,000 registered fish farmers across the country. Commercial farming is carried out in fish ponds or gigantic fish cages floating on Lake Victoria, like these cages belonging to Yalelo, Uganda, the leading aquaculture operator in the country.
So our main market currently is Kenya, and that's because we have prioritized getting ourselves into a productive capacity, but increasingly we are now selling more and more fish in Uganda, and indeed the last 2-3 months now we have seen good growth in being able to supply more and more fish, not just in Kampala. We also have border outlets, we also have some smaller towns like Jinja and so on, and indeed even in Butembi we have a shop.
In 2019, consumption was 103,700 metric tons. In 2021, production had climbed to 138,558 metric tons according to World Bank data on agriculture in Uganda. Today, it's approximately 140,000 tons per annum. The National Fisheries Resources Research Institute is responsible for the genetics that have enabled aquaculture and fish farming to take place in Uganda. The institute is located in Jinja and is behind the development and recommendation of technologies and choosing the best sites for commercial fish cage farming, currently taking place in Lake Victoria. The Aquaculture Research and Development Center at Kajansi, on the other hand, has been responsible for developing the technologies and methods used by fish pond farmers across the country.
We, as a research institute, we endeavor to carry out a number of technologies geared at increasing productivity of fish. And what we are actually addressing at the moment is generating a fish seed that has got the potential to double the growth rate and performance, to double the current trend that we have.
A network of certified hatcheries has been developed and operators certified around the country for farmers to readily access the right fish seed. Based in Tororo in eastern Uganda, Rock Spring Farm is one of the leading fish fingerling suppliers in Uganda and specializes in hatching Nile tilapia.
We got an interest of doing breeding, that is producing the young ones, and so we ventured into breeding, and at the moment that's what we are doing at a large scale. And right now we have about 68 ponds which are in production.
Government has also supported and facilitated the establishment of aqua parks like Kiryabusoro Aqua Park in Ibanda district.
We have almost 40 ponds, and these 40 ponds, they are all filled up with fish.
The National Animal Resources and Genetics Center and Database has also taken up the mantle to address and supply quality fish fingerlings by establishing hatcheries and its stock farms in the country, like Kasolwe in eastern Uganda, Lusenke in central, and Maruzi in northern Uganda. Big players like Yalero Uganda Limited, with massive operations, have to be self-sufficient in seed and feed supply in order to thrive.
We have the breed stock ponds, and that is where we put the breeders that give us fry. And from there we also have the sex reversal ponds, and that is where we put the fry just after it's been hatched.
Sustainable and successful aquaculture and fish farming requires the availability of quality fish feeds on the market. At Kajansi, a new formula using black soldier flies has been developed and is likely to be a game changer in the quality of fish feed on the market.
We found that if we replace mukene with 75% of the black soldier fly larval meal, the performance is the best of the black soldier fly based feeds, and it is close to the commercial feed.
With growing local and regional demand for Uganda's farmed fish, the focus and attention is on how to tap lucrative premium markets like the European Union. Farmed fish has yet to make any headway, even if operators like Yalero have facilities that meet EU standards. The challenge is meeting the stringent EU residue monitoring plan and protocols.
Right now we have drafted the residue monitoring plan. It is in place, but we need information from the farmed fish to give us the farmed fish farms to show us their inputs so that we submit the same details to the European Union as competent authority, and also pick samples for analysis, and we submit the results to the European Union.
The Fisheries Lab is not equipped for the job, but has appointed the international accredited Chemifar Analytical Labs and Inspection in Kampala to do the job.
Internally, we are developing capacity really to cover as much as we can in aquaculture. We look at the environment where the fish live in the aquaculture places. So we are more than ready to go.
Aquaculture has the potential to provide fish for Uganda's growing population sustainably. But a number of major challenges have to be addressed first, and they cut across the concerns of all stakeholders.
Lack of quality and reliable feed. We do not have feed that is of good quality and reliable, like you can get the feed whenever you want it. That one has been a challenge for some time. And another challenge maybe as the fish farmers and more so the breeders, the ones with hatcheries, we have a challenge of the market. The market fluctuates a lot. Today you have market, tomorrow you don't have market.
The water quality issues, the land issues, and of course the diseases, which are some of the challenges we have.
Most quality fish feeds have to be imported from outside for bulk operators like the cage farmers on Lake Victoria. And that source could be affected by the conflict in the Middle East.
Because we are vulnerable, there's not a working feed mill of size in Uganda. There's 2 now in Kenya, which has helped most definitely. But they, of course, are still reliant upon importation of certain materials for their production. So feed is a major, major concern. We're fortunate that there are at least 2 feed mills now being constructed, possibly a 3rd soon to start in Uganda.
There is much hope for Uganda, though. The main suppliers of farmed fish to premium markets in Europe and the Gulf states are Asian countries like China, Philippines, and Thailand. But Uganda is logistically better placed and better endowed in terms of water and environment to export to these premium markets. If the bottlenecks that hamper the sustainable development of commercial fish farming in Uganda can be addressed, the target of 1 million tons per year in farmed fish can be attained. It would go a long way in assuring the growing population of sustainable fish supplies beyond the country's water bodies, whose carrying capacity cannot exceed 700,000 metric tons per year.